Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I got a good one for you, I think. We're going to talk about a bait that I feel is underused by most of us and probably intimidates the rest of us. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Okay, to get started, we're talking about glide baits, guys. We're going to talk about the colors to use, the times of the year they're most productive, the equipment to use, and where to use them. So let's start with equipment. For glide baits that are anywhere from the 6 to 8 inch mark, you would want to run a 7.2 to 7'6" medium heavy to heavy action rod. And I would probably run this with 25-pound fluorocarbon, me personally, but you can go to 20-pound fluorocarbon. Talk about the different types of glide baits. There are two for the ones that don't know or are new to glide baits. You have your cover style glide baits, you have your open water glide baits. Open water glide baits are going to have more of a S, they all have an S motion, okay? Open water is going to glide more in an S motion, where cover glide baits will be tighter. For your heavier glide baits over 8 inches, you're going to want to go to an extra heavy action rod from a 7.6 foot to an 8-foot rod. With the heavier glide baits, you'll also want to jump your reel size up to a size 300. And I'd probably run 50-pound braid to a 30-pound monofilament leader, whereas with the 6 to 8 inches, I would run a straight fluorocarbon with a size 200 reel. The rod and reel that I'm using, I got a Daiwa Tatula, size 200, paired with 25-pound Seaguar and BizX fluorocarbon line, and this is a 7'9" action rod with weight capacity of 3 to 6 ounces, 20 to 60 pound line capacity. So then this is my rod and reel setup. This thing, I have no complaints. Sensitive, cast country mow, and that's important too, to be able to cast far with these baits. The further you can get away from the boat or where you're fishing, the more likely you'll get that strike that you're after. Okay guys, I think I shared with you best times of the years. If I didn't, it is again pre-spawn, post-spawn, and again in the fall, about this time in the fall when they're feeding on the bigger bait fish. But it can be effective all year round. It is a clear water technique. You want a minimum of 4 foot of visibility for this technique to work, but more obviously would be better, because it will, the whole thing behind glide bait fishing is visual. So these fish are going to see it and they're going to come up and investigate it from the depths or from a distance. So hey guys, if you like what you're seeing here, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button too. It helps out the channel tremendously. And if you got any questions at all, or something you might want to add about glide bait fishing, please leave them down in the comments below. Love to hear from you guys. And we all can learn from each other. That's important. Okay guys, so let's get into open water glides. And then we'll go to cover glides, then we'll talk about colors, and then we wrap this video up. So the open water glide that I have right now is the Bait Sanity Antidote. This is in the Sexy Shag color. Technique that you're going to want to use, where you're going to use these. Around submerged weed lines, out on points. The reason for is this is going to glide with a wide S motion. I'm going to reel this anywhere from 10 to 14 full revolutions of the handle. Then I'm going to put 2 quick snaps into the rod, and that's going to cause this bait to go snap, snap, and turn around on itself. This will cause any fish that's following it to make a choice and possibly a reaction strike, because now he feels like the bait has seen him. He has no choice to either eat it or let it go. This is, another piece, most important piece of equipment for swim bait or glide bait fishing would be a good pair of polarized glasses. Sorry guys, there's a lot of kids playing today. This way you can see the fish and see what you got to do, because a lot of times you'll be in that 10 to 12 to 14 spins of the handle and that fish has already been following. You can go ahead and throw in 2 quick snaps to try to get him to react and strike. If he doesn't, I would not give up on him. I would just leave the area. I'd come back and either throw a different angle at him or try a different bait. But he's going to be there. He showed you he was there. He's definitely, there's a good chance you could catch him. If not with a glide bait, with a different bait. A couple of the good open water baits would be the Antidote. Obviously, I have that one. The Bait Sanity Explorer and the Depth Slide Swimmer. These are 3 choices that are good for open water baits. They have the nice wide S motion. And like I said, that's important when you're trying to cover water, okay? Colors, as with all of these glide baits, you're going to want to stay natural. If you have trout in the water, run a trout pattern. If you have shad or golden shiners in the water, try to get as close to that as you can. You know, you want to mimic the forage the best you can. You don't want to have any wild colors like your pinks and your oranges, because these fish are going to be investigating this lure very closely, and an unnatural color is just going to cause you a strike, you know, because they're going to see this lure from a distance, they're going to come up to it, and then they're going to investigate it before they bite it. So you don't want anything wild and crazy. Okay guys, moving on. We're going to talk about the cover glides. One of my favorite is the S-Waver. This is the S-Waver 120. Some of the best are the S-Wavers 168 and 200. Another good choice would be your G-Rat Sneaky Pete. And then Jancraft, what size Jancraft did I say? 230. You would want the 230 Jancraft. I had to write this stuff down, guys, because like I said, I'm fairly new to this. There's a lot of good baits out there. Some of them have some decent price tags. This bait here, I'm running it around $15 to about $20. Excellent cover bait if you just want to get started. You don't need a super expensive rod and reel. Like I said, the smaller baits, you can run a medium heavy to heavy action rod, and a size 200 bait casting reel. This being the baby bass color, where would I use these? Okay, round docks would be an excellent place. Also around laydowns. The technique for this is you're going to want to cast out past your target where you expect the fish to be, slowly reeling it in so that bait's slowly swimming. When you get to where you suspect the fish are, give it a quick 2 twitches so that this bait snaps. As he's coming through, he's making his little S. He's going to snap here and then snap and turn around, look at the fish if he's there. And you'll continue this process. I would say with the cover baits, you would want to do it every 6 to 10 spins of the reel and then put 2 snaps in. Obviously, if you have a follower and he hasn't taken it yet, you'd want to go ahead and put 2 snaps in and try to get him to react to the bait. But when you're using cover baits, you know, you want to use it around, like I said, the laydowns and docks. It'll bring them out from cover and show them. Again, not every one of them are going to hit, but this will give you, it'll show that they're there. You can always come back again and try from a different angle or a different bait. And when they do hit, you're gonna catch above average, or maybe even some of the biggest fish in the lake, or the biggest fish in the lake. So it's a bait that has its pros and cons. You know, you're not gonna go out and catch 100 fish on it. And when you catch them, they'll be worth catching. Okay, guys, like I said, I have a few here that I'll share with you color-wise, and then we're gonna wrap up the video. This is the Savage Gear Glide. It's in a baby bass color or bass color. Then I have the 6th Sense Swimmer in a perch pattern. I also have the Shine Glide 135 by Savage Gear. That's more of a shad profile. I have the Storm Arashi, and the perch goes perch color. It's a big bait, guys. Then I have your River to Sea. I believe this is the 168 here. This is in the perch pattern. And then the 120s, I have several. You know, like the shad pattern here. Sexy shad. And also rainbow trout. Or ghost trout, I think is what they call that. Guys, these baits are excellent baits. Like I said, you can use them year round. But I will repeat, the best times are when they're feeding on big bait fish. This is in the post-spawn, pre-spawn in the spring, and again this time in the fall. So if you haven't tried them, give them a shot. Glide baits can be a big rabbit hole. They can be very expensive. There's some that'll go up over $1,200. The S-Wavers are nice. They're mass produced. You're looking at $20 to $40, $50, I think, most of the time on the different sizes. They have nice colors. They got good action to them. 6 cents, you know, again, $20 bait. The Storm Arashi, again, I think that's a $40 bait. Your Antidote, I think, is in the $40 range. But you want to throw these baits with the right equipment to get the best action out of them. Guys, they will show you the biggest fish in the lake. And when you catch fish, it's likely to be above average. So give them a shot this season, and good luck. And guys, if you haven't, before we end this video, if you haven't already given me a thumbs up and you liked the video, you got something from it, hit that thumbs up button, guys. I appreciate it very much. Again, if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. And like always, if you have something you want to add or a question you have, please leave them down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. We all would like, guys, till next time, thanks. We'll see you on the next one.